Welcome back. Today we're working on our automata for Module 4. What you should have done already is open up the IED Automata box template. It's possible that you have already created CAMs and created those in a separate document. If you have, that's totally fine. We're just going to use the ones that are inside of this file already, and then later you can go in and swap out for your own CAMs that you've designed yourself. Right now, you'll need to open up the link that's shared either on the agenda or inside of the assignment. When you open it up, you should have a link up here or a button up here that says make a copy. You won't be able to make any adjustments to this model until you make your own copy. Once you're here, don't forget if you right click and hold, you can rotate your object around. This is going to help you out going forward when you're trying to manipulate the object. We're then going to insert our cam. So already created for you, you've got your follower rod and your bottom of your follower. You've got the guide that is here to keep the stick in place so it's not wobbling back and forth. You've got your axle, you've got some pegs to hold it into the box, and then you've got the handle here that we can use to rotate like this. You can see there's also already a cam inside of here. This one's been placed for you so that you can see the movement that can be made here. Now I'm going to go ahead and insert 3 of the cams. If you click insert and then scroll down, you already have some files here that we can work with. We have an eccentric cam, which is basically a circle, but instead of the center point for the axle being in the center of the circle, it's offset a bit. You have a hexagon cam. You have a pear cam, and we have a snail cam. We'll click our green check. One thing I do want to make you aware of is that this hexagon cam will not work in Onshape unless you fillet these edges. So we're not going to use this one right now. It'll work fine in Fusion or in Inventor, but with Onshape you can't use this hexagon with these harsh edges. So that would need to be modified and adding a fillet there. So now I'm going to go ahead and start inserting these onto the axle here. We'll insert these by using a fasten mate. You want to zoom in and choose the square shape, but choose the center of it right there. Make sure you're clicking in the right spot and that you're not clicking down on this one or this one, but the top square. And then we'll rotate, and we want to place it on this square here in the same center point. When you zoom out, you want to make sure that you're seeing some sort of interference here. If this pops on the outside of this handle or on the inside of the handle, your offset won't be correct. So just be mindful of that. You want to make sure that it is interfering like this here. And then pay attention to where your axes are for this origin. You've got a Z-axis that's going this way out and to the left. You've got an X-axis that's going up and down, and then you've got a Y-axis that's going forward and back. We're going to manipulate the Z-axis so we can make it align with this follower here. The distance between the outside of this handle and this part here is 1.375. So we'll choose offset. Your x-axis would bring it up out of the box. The y-axis would bring it forward out of the box. And then the z-axis is going to slide it along this axle here. So we'll change that value. Notice your z is coming out to the left. That's the positive, so we'll need negative 1.375. And then your remaining followers are each 1 inch apart. So we'll do 1.375 here, 2.375 here, 3.375, 4.375. So click your green check, and looking at it from this orientation, it should align correctly. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing for the snail and the pear cam, adding a a fasten constraint, zooming in, clicking the top, and then clicking this box here like that. Again, making sure that it interferes, and then changing the value. So I already have one at 1.375, 2.375, so we'll do 3.375. And just so you know, if you do make a mistake and it doesn't align correctly, you can always cancel that command. You can always edit that command that you placed on there, or you can come in and just delete it. Either one, and it's okay if you do make a mistake. You can fix it or just delete it and try it again. Not a big deal. So we'll add one more fasten constraint here for the snail, clicking the same points as before. Again, checking for that interference, and this time we want negative 4.375. So once you get all of the cams on the axle of your box, you then should be able to grab the handle and spin it like this, and you'll see all of your cams are moving together in sync with the axle. What makes the followers along the top move at different rates is the shape of the cam. So now we need to add some tangent constraints to the bottom of the follower to the edge of the cam, which is going to give us that movement along the top. So let's start here, and we're going to add a tangent constraint to the edge of this cam and then the bottom surface of the follower. So tangent constraint, edge of the cam, making sure that it highlights. Not sure that was correct, so I'm going to try it again. Edge of the cam, and then bottom of the follower, and it should snap to it just like that. Then check and make sure you don't have any red things happening here, any exclamation marks or anything like that. If you do get that, then just click undo until those things disappear and try it again. That means that there's some sort of error, and then everything after that is going to have an issue as well. So we're going to repeat that same process. We'll do a tangent constraint on the edge of our pair. Sometimes you have to click it twice, so make sure it highlights like that. And then click the bottom. You want the whole bottom profile, not just an edge, like that. And then we'll do the same thing for the snail at the end too. We didn't have to do this one because it was already constrained when we opened it. I'm going to raise this follower up a bit so I have some room to work with and I can see what I'm working on. And then I'm going to choose the edge and then the bottom, and it should snap there just like that. Before we test it, while you're working, if for some reason you have like surfaces that are in your way, you can always right click on them and choose hide, and it will hide that object so you can see better into the box. And then if something disappears and you want to add it back, you can find the little hidden button here, and you can just click that and make them visible. So I can turn that back off. So like these pieces here and these pieces here, I can turn them all back on. So now you can see it's an actual box. So now if I grab the handle and we watch the top, you should see those things popping, going up and down. On shape can be a little frustrating, and I've already messed it up. So I'm going to go back. On shape can be a little frustrating sometimes, and it will glitch sometimes. So just undo it if it does start to glitch. Now that I have this, everything's working correctly. The tangents are on there. Now I'm going to scroll down and look under my mate features and look for the revolution of this handle, because when I start to rotate it, it causes movement in here. We'll animate this instance that's happening here. So I'm going to look for the revolution. I only have one revolution here. So I'm going to right click here, and then we're going to choose animate. You want your playback type to be a loop single is just going to go one time, and then reciprocate is going to go forward and back. I can show you the difference, but you will want yours on a loop. Just like in real life, your starting point to be 0, your end point to be 360. We'll make sure that it is working correctly. Let's play it. Unable to compute any steps. This is because if I go forward, if you look here, because of the way the snail cam is on here, it like can't do that. And in real life, it wouldn't be able to do this either. So we need to rotate it the opposite direction. We'll choose negative there and then try. Oh, I'm still having some issues. Okay, so let's come over here and see if I can manipulate like that. And now we'll see if we can play it. And now you can see it should drop down. It's not, it's reciprocating. You see what happens when you choose reciprocate? It's going to go forward and then it's going to go back. Just like that. If you change it to a loop, it'll just continue to go around. And then it should drop or keep going all the way around. And then once you get it to animate correctly, it may be that you need to come in here, and I probably need to play around with this a bit. It was working earlier, but somehow I probably clicked on the wrong thing. I may come in and eliminate some of these tangents or something and try to place them again. This right here looks like it's giving me some issues too. Yeah, this one's not working anymore. So something happened with my tangents here. Oh, now it's working. Okay, so it goes up and then stops. So I'm going to go in and delete these tangents and put them back on there and see if I can fix it before I end this. So this one I'm going to delete, and then this one I'm going to delete as well. And then I'm going to place them on there again, and then I'll try that animation again. Oh, whoops. Okay, tangent, click on the edge, click on the bottom, just like that. And now I'm going to animate that revolution again. Put it on the loop. And then I have a glitch here. So I'm going to investigate this a little bit further, see what's going on with it. But for the most part, this is how it should function. And then we'll stop it, and then you'll just share your link using this here.